What if I told you that you contain a highly intelligent, living, liquid, crystalline ocean of light that allows you to tap into Christ consciousness? The fact is, your cerebral spinal fluid is only one molecule different from seawater, and it is a liquid crystal with a highly organized repeating pattern in its molecular structure, which allows it to sense, store, transduce, and transmit frequencies, vibration, and information. Like a crystal, your CSF is piezoelectric, meaning you can activate its flow of energy and the release of light through specific practices, which you'll learn in the upcoming Spirit of Water e-course starting in November. Your CSF flows in a double helix of two streams around a central channel, the physical riverbeds of what yogis refer to as the energetic channels, the Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. And it doesn't just flow through your spinal column in these three rivers, it actually spirals through them. In fact, the German word for spinal column is spiral column, and the German word for vertebrae is vortices. Now, if you've watched some of my previous content, you may already know that vortexes act as portals of energy transference, as water is the mediator between physicality and the zero-point energy of the quantum field. And these vertebral vortices along your spine also structure your cerebral spinal fluid, making it a more conductive liquid. Now, according to Dr. Mauro Zapatera, who received his MD and his PhD from Harvard, CSF is constantly transmitting both vibration and light, and the energetic field that it creates can reach every major center of the brain and the entire central nervous system instantaneously and non-synaptically, meaning without thought process. So it creates spontaneous states of being, states of consciousness that arise not through mental thoughts, but through the wisdom of a light that is conducted by water. And this explains why intuition and meditative states are non-thought based, non-synaptic, and sometimes precognitive. They arise as a sense of knowing instantaneously, not as thoughts, just as the antenna of CSF seawater transmits energy instantaneously throughout the entire nervous system. And then, this highly charged and intelligent substance, which has made the long journey through the superhighway of your spinal column or spiral column, culminates in the third ventricle at the center of the brain. Just in front of it is the pineal, and in back is the pituitary. So these two glands are always bathed in cerebral spinal fluid. These are the master glands of the endocrine system, also associated with the sixth and seventh chakras of higher wisdom, and are considered responsible for mapping your perceptions of reality and your connectivity to the divine. Now, the third ventricle was referred to by the Taoists as the crystal palace, and by the yogis as the cave of Brahman. And the spiritual teacher Nisargadatta said, where the fluids come together, the sense I am appears. And Dr. Randolph Stone said, the soul swims in CSF. It takes this very special kind of water to conduct your consciousness. And references to the spinal stairway to heaven can be found in all traditions throughout time. In the yogic tradition, a certain type of cerebral spinal fluid is referred to as amrita, and it is said to drip from the pituitary gland. And it's actually possible to taste this during certain breathwork practices that you'll learn in the course. In Torah symbolism, the dividing of the Red Sea, or of the choroid plexus, is the separation of CSF from blood. It's called the crystal clear sea in front of the throne of God. And in the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, there's a Buddhist practice of transferring your consciousness to the Buddha consciousness. And one of the signs that you've done the practice correctly is a tingling at the top of the head where clear liquid droplets form right around the fontanelle. So to learn more about how to activate the spiritual essence of your cerebral spinal fluid and how to optimize these magical rivers of liquid consciousness in your spine to release a sacred type of living water called Amrita, join us in the Spirit of Water e-course starting in November. It's a series of live calls where we are going to dive deep into water's transcendent wisdom and unlock the codes to partner with water for our personal and collective evolution. So get your tickets at waterslife.academy, and you can use the code EARLYBIRD for 10% off until October 26th. I'll see you in there.